Right. I think I got everything working here. It looks a little blurry for some reason. I don't know why that camera's not wanting to focus on it. There it goes. Now it's focusing. It's always kind of weird. Sorry. I think I gotta make sure I can hear everything. I don't want to hear if this is too loud or I'm getting in my ear. I can hear it in the microphone there. So, trying out a new system tonight. You guys saw a couple tests a few days ago. Let's see. Hold on. Mark is. We're going to try something tonight. We're going to try to get a special guest. So hold on a second. Mark just texted me. Not sure if this is going to work. I need Hello Live. Okay. Well. Let's see. Let me give Mark a call real quick while we're going live here because he has to talk. So we were gonna do a picture-in-picture thing. So put Mark on. Hey, so you don't have Firefox or anything like that? Yeah, we'll work in Firefox. Just open the link in Firefox. In the email, did it get you anything that says join here? Yeah. YOLO Live. Hmm. Did you do it on your phone? On your tablet? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. Uh, okay, well, we'll have to figure something else out. Do you have Internet Explorer or Edge? Okay, well then it's not going to work. So we tried. So we're I'll talk to you later, Mark. All right. So what that was is we were trying to set up the invite a guest in that you can see, and we can talk back and forth, and you can ask questions to. That didn't work because, um, well, I think it didn't work because of Mark doesn't have Google Chrome, and apparently what it does is it sends you an email, and then you click on a link, and then it opens up in your browser, and you can use your webcam and microphone and stuff like that. So, and his didn't his he uses Firefox, so it didn't want to work. So we're learning, so we'll figure that all out. But anyway, let me go and plus I have a neat chat thing. Let's see if this is going to work. So I have Taylor. Hey Taylor, how's it going? Um, let's see, and then yeah, thanks Taylor. I hope everything's working good. So see, I can click on their titles. There we go. And so it will say, like, if you're watching it on YouTube channel or if you're watching on the Facebook channel, you'll be able to see everything, which is kind of cool. And then so hopefully I can keep on top of this. And if you guys have questions on this live feed, we'll go over that. But anyway, let's crack open some frosty beverage of choice, which mine is pretty simple. It's a blue label and it's cold. Nice apple juice. So today I was going to do a build, but I don't know. I just didn't get to it. That's all right. I'm not really worried about it. The interesting is I don't know how many people are actually viewing. I'll have to figure that one all out. Yeah. So, but I was going to do a build, but the build. Where's everything? Oh, it's out there in the other room, I think. Yeah. It was Chris Crisino's Meteor. It's a personal gun, and we did a little trade work. And so I was gonna do that. There's some things I need to figure out on that before I have to talk to Chris on it to figure out what he wants to do and how he wants to get everything done on it. If that makes any sense. Because let me look at everything here. Because it will I didn't want to assemble it and have to take it apart again. Some pneumatics. He has some chrome stuff on there. It's good stuff. Just chrome. It's pitting. It's a new gun. Newish gun. He may be fine. Maybe his player's gun. So tonight I thought about just doing a thing on pressures and gauges and stuff like that. And to kind of generally talk about that. If anyone has any questions, we can go forth. I have no idea. With this setup, I have no idea how many people are viewing, if anyone at all. I know that Taylor is. Taylor White. Thanks, Taylor. And I don't know how my audio is, how it sounds. If it's too soft, if it's too loud, I have no idea. So I'm testing a whole new system out. It's a YOLO Box Live. And it's cool because I can simulcast. So I can simulcast to YouTube and Facebook. And if I wanted to have a Twitch account, which I do, but I don't really see the need to go into Twitch. And then I can do things like I could click. I can click on this, which should follow all the way through. So you can see me down in the bottom corner, and this shows my desktop. And then I can do some other things. I could set up a lot of neat things. Audio is good. Thank you. Thanks. That's really what I wanted to do. And all right, perfect. So let's go to overhead view. Tonight's discussion is talking about gauges and testing stuff, and then kind of pressures on autocockers or general paintball guns. And some of the testing equipment that I have, and there's even more that I have that there's not enough room on the table here to put it. Some of the other transducers I use for when I was doing the reg testing back in the day. Hey Joseph, how's it going? Hope everything's going good. I hope you got that stuff lasered. That all turned out nice for you. But yeah, I did a couple laser projects for you, didn't I, Joe? Yeah. But anyway, kind of talk about that, and that's a little bit about, like I said, pressures and stuff like that on guns, and get that all figured out. But anyway, so let's go through my testing equipment. This is one of these die. Let's bring it up here it's one of these dies. It's got a bleed off valve. They don't like high pressure. Don't use your tank with these. They just don't like. You'll blow out this little O-ring. And you can see my Teflon tape. Yes, I have Teflon tape all over this. Not on the inside. It's just messy on the outside. And then I have this liquid filled gauge, and you can see the liquid it's coming out. And it's just mineral oil. That's all it is. You get these gauges. It's just mineral oil, and you can pop this little top off and pour more in there if you want to. Liquid filled gauges versus dry gauges. What's the big difference? Well, one's got liquid in it, one doesn't. Now, quality that's a whole other thing on each gauge, but the liquid's kind of really designed in general. Yeah, right, Jason? Total animal. Simulcasted. And Jason, we're going to be able to do, have a whole bunch of builders all on video from your house. Okay, so let's see, what's this? Okay, so what's the lowest consistent LOL operating pressure you've ever reached on a Cocker build? It needs to get a LPR tester for. Yeah, you do need an LPR. I think an LPR tester is good. I sell those. I don't care about the refresh of an LPR. I care about that it actually works, and that's why I have a refresh thing on mine. But hold on, let me back up because I can get sidetracked pretty easy. We'll come back to your question here in a second, Taylor. Yeah, so Jason will be able to simulcast up to 5 different people at the same time, so you guys can all be on, kind of like a Zoom call, but then we're streaming that. And I'm thinking about taking a super game also at the hotel. But anyway, so that's some of the things we do. Okay, Taylor, so what's the lowest consistent operating pressure you've ever reached on a Cocker build? Well, it's a hard one to say because my testing gear has changed, and we'll go through that in a minute. But back in the day, I'll show you again. I have it right here, or the marker. And I gotta be careful because I'm simulcasting on YouTube, so I have to cover things up. So let me do this. Take my Camps Propane, and I'll cover up a portion of it. This is a Merlin, and it wasn't built this way, and I sold it, and someone drilled it for eyes, and I ended up buying it back. This is an AK Merlin that was an early J&J paintball. Hey Chris, how's it going? Super secret tech meetup. Well, yeah, and live stream. But anyway, it was a the G3 paintball, and it was Jared from. He was the son of Garrett, who owned G&G paintball, or G3 paintball. And these are some of his first mills. Remember the ones that had the back blocks that were kind of cut really long here, pretty desirable to have. This is one that I bought directly from them. This is the first gun I ever had anodized and custom built that I did myself. Anodizing was by PK Select, and outside of some minor scratches on it, it's a really good anodizing job. Milling is really horrible, and then it got drilled by eyes, but not by me. But anyway, this gun, or this paintball marker, it operated off of one of those 1-inch little gauges on an ANS rag. It was right around about 150 psi, and this Merlin was the one that used the conical spring, the spider conical spring for the valve. So, so it was. It was low, but that was based on that gauge. And those little round gauges are, man, they could be 20 to 50 psi off on those little tiny gauges. They're just not like their tank gauges, the small stuff and the old stuff that was on some of the older guns, even the Ashcroft stuff. That stuff was there. Even if you go to their website, you look at the specs on it, it wasn't that good. So let's see. I'm trying to think. So that was I thought the lowest for a Cocker. The physics behind it, to get a 68 caliber paintball, and don't quote me on this, there's several papers you can go search online for paintball physics and paintball velocities, and there's about 4 or 5, I think, no, about 2 or 3 papers that some people did, paintball players that did them for like their thesis or whatever for their physics class. And they've all kind of have the same type of numbers. And I even think there was something written by, and maybe even published by Airgun Designs on the amount of pressure it takes behind a 68 caliber round spear that weighs like 300 and some grams to shoot down a 12-inch barrel at velocity. I can't remember what velocity they used, whatever velocity, maybe 280 feet per second. It took about 68 psi behind the ball to do that, and so that's kind of what I always say, that's what's required. Now, you know, if you look at, and then when I did some testing, if you guys look back at some of my videos, I have this test rig that's an autococker that has transducers milled in the body, and one is a transducer that's measuring the pressure behind the ball, and it's right there where the bolt closes and where the ball is, and it's as close as I can get. There's a little 1/8 gap when that all happens, and it gets me a pressure right in front of the bolt. And what I've seen on my testing is right around that 68 to 70 psi to get that velocity at 285 feet per second. So, man, what is and then it says consistent. Man, consistent is, yeah, I like LOL after consistent. Yeah. Real men have real big tools, right? Okay, I got to scroll back to see what's all being said. Looking good, that guy. Trash. Real men have big tools. Yeah, they do, Jason. They do have big tools. Let's see what's going on. I got some messages here. Let's see. I'm multitasking, which I'm not good at doing. Ask Mark Davis about that. Let's see. Yeah, this guy. Accept. This guy says, yeah, I don't know. Something. But anyway, so man, I'm trying to think what. Let me go back and do this, and then that. Turn off Jason's. Yeah, that's true. Uh, I know you're not referring to me, but I do have real tools. Okay, Chris Plant. So Chris who owns Peanut AutoWorks, by the way. If you guys need your stuff done, actually, I see Chris and Jason, all techs. At least you guys are all working on guns. Before they're running about 155 to give you a few psi smooth shooting, but it's an air hog. It's shooting about 290 feet per second. I'm going to change springs. Yes, I agree with you, Chris. As that there is a fine line, and I think War Games kind of really figured a lot of that stuff out. I think in the end, they set all their regs around 350 psi, except in the oracles, which were 220 or 250 psi. I can't remember. 280 psi. It's in the manual. And I think carnivores were the same way, and they had figured all that out. They did the testing, they did efficiency, and I don't know. I don't care about efficiency. Most fields have unlimited field or fill, so I could really give a crap about that. Efficiency is, I don't know. I think it's overrated, completely overrated. But I'm trying to think what else I have. So my ShockTech guns, they let me come back to this right here. Let me do this because this is important to have the best tech. It's made Docfire. Just to be a smartass. But let me go back to here. Yeah. So let me put this up there. This is, you're not gonna be able to see everything that's gonna scroll through. Yeah, but I don't know. It's like 300 psi to me is kind of an optimal. Not because ShockTech, that's what they set their guns at. Not because of that. I think it's a good pressure for being somewhat efficient and not wasting as much air, and consistent. Consistent comes with paint, 100% paint and barrel match is consistent. Well, it could be if your reg is not operating correctly too. In a perfect world where your equipment is functioning how it should, and it's quality equipment. Just got to put that caveat. Paint is your biggest issue. And Jason is the Jason. So Jason will label yours when you come in as the best drill press operator. I don't know if I even do an operator. I'll just say like your drill press. You're allowed at a shop to just turn the lights on. That would probably be the safe bet for you. Just saying, is that Jason Antle, a light turner honor at shop. Applied for a broom sweeping position. So, yeah, I'm going to pay for that when I know him. So, Tyler, hey Tyler, how's it going? Drill press advisor, yeah, excellent. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. But anyway, so pressures. Go back to pressures. I think people need to stop worrying about what pressure everything is running at. It's a gauge. So let's go back to all the stuff I have here. So I have my dye gauge with this liquid filled. I have this really nice, I call it my popper gauge, and this is essentially a bob long torpedo. That's the little valve for it. Just basically a poppet. And this is made by Jim Eaton from the Ripper Machinist. I got this from him. And works really nice. Put up here in the... I actually really like it. I want to make these. Jason, let's make these. Let's make a whole bunch of them. You got the mill. Let's make like 50 of them. We'll share the cost on it. Well, I mean, if you upgrade to a sweeper. And then I just got this gauge in the mail because I've been wanting one of these, and I've been looking at specs and all this crap, and I went on Slamazon, which because I hate them, but I can do a lot of research on there, so I give it to them there. This is the digital one. This has a 0.4% over scale accuracy. Okay, so it's a 0 to 3,000 psi, so that will kind of get you an accuracy. I think that's what it said, or maybe it was a 0.04 or something like that. I don't know, or 0.24. Doesn't really matter. You can do the math on that if you want. So this is a little bit more accurate. This right here, this is a. Let me bring this up into view. Actually, let's pull this around. This is ESI Technologies. You guys can go look this up. You can look the model number up if you want to. Yeah, okay. I can't wait. I literally can't. I think we gotta. I have some ideas for some valves. Which have already been done. But anyway, so this is a USB transducer. This is not a super fast one for really looking at response times, which I don't use any of these for really response times. Maybe this one, and I can kind of see if a gauge has got creep. But this is really to certify these gauges to make sure that they're working good. These are the gauges that I sell on my site. These little guys right here. Oops. Sorry for the light; it's really bright in here. And I'm going to get the glare off of everything. And this is what I use on the reg tester that I sell. Because they're cheap. If you blow them out, they're not that expensive to replace. And they're fairly accurate for the most part. And I do test all of them that go out to make sure that they're working right. But this transducer is a USB powered transducer. And I'm going to go to this. Beep, bop. So we're just gonna look at some. We're also getting to the nitty gritty. So I've got a tank and a torpedo rag. So I need to pull the torpedo rag off of that. We're gonna screw it. We're gonna do like this. We're gonna screw this and the bottom of this. I'm gonna screw this and the bottom of this. Oh, I lost audio. Ooh, did I really? Oh, to the pressure screen. Okay, I know how to do that. All right, so let me go fix that. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to say audio. Okay, so it should be fine. So I should have everything fixed. I know what it is. So I'm going to go to the pressure screen right now. I'm at the pressure screen, and you guys should still be hearing audio. I'm going to go back to this screen. You should still be hearing audio. So let me know if anything changed when I did that. All right, perfect. I know what it is. I have audio following the HDMI in, and my computer is an HDMI in, but I don't have the audio coming from it. So I just have to say, yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, perfect. All right, this is cool. All right, so I got my little tank set up here. I'll put enough air. I'm going to put my transducer in, so we're going to clip this guy in. Make sure he's in there securely. We're going to put my macro line in there, and I'm going to gas this up, and I need a little bit more slack on this. Beep, bop, beep, bop. Okay, so focus. You guys can kind of see that. It's right around. I hope that's quality enough. Yeah, yes, it is regulator Legos, and I need my glasses, so because I can't see close up. It says on here, I'm about halfway between 200 or between from 200 to 250. I'm the halfway point, just a little less than halfway. Okay, so then we're going to go over to this guy. Okay, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zero everything. Yes, I want to zero this. Pressure sensor has been zeroed. Ooh, wait a second. I can't do that. I did that wrong. So let me degas this. Degas this. Let's re-zero it because I zeroed it under pressure. Okay, re-zero. Yes. Okay. Should be 0. Okay, there we go. Complete. Okay, so now I'm going to gas this back up. And you're going to watch, it should be, oh, it says 0 because you don't see it. I need to hit the start button. I hit the start button, and it's 240. So it says 240 on this screen. We can just kind of watch it. It's a really sensitive transducer. I can actually tap on the side and probably change things. So 239, all right, so remember that. Let's go back into this camera. We're going to bring this up here, so 239. And I said it's halfway between 200 and 250, so that would be 225. So we're looking at about a 10 to, I don't know, 220, let's see. Yeah, it's literally on the halfway mark. Okay, so with that, it's, if it's 239 on this guy, which I just turned off, then it's and it's 220, or not even yet, 225 on the other one. That gauge is, you know, someone do the math for me. I don't know. It's 225 to 239. That's like 10, 11, 12 or 13. I'm horrible about quick math. All right, so I'm a calculator. I wish I had the capabilities in my head to do those things like that. So now we're going to put on this oil fill gauge. Okay. Trust but verify. Yes, trust. I don't know what you're talking about there, but anyway. All right. So now we're going to put on. We're going to gas it back up. Beep, bop, bop. And the transducer's back to 238, 239. Pretty consistent regulator. I'm going to go into here, and if it's going to focus, and let me look here. It's closer to, it's halfway between, you know, 200 to 300, so it's just a little less than half. So yeah, that's probably pretty close. It's about 240. Okay, so this gauge is just a little bit off. What I would expect, the smaller you go on a gauge, generally the more inaccuracies you're going to have. Okay, so we put that on there. Uh-oh, let's unscrew this guy. Let's get some nutrition real quick. Put this guy right there. Nutrition time. And your Angus marching his way towards me. This is going to be fun because am I going to be able to spin this? I think I need to do it like this. I need to do it like this. Oh, let's take everything off. A little bit more work to get this one on because it doesn't have a thingamajobber. So I'm going to put this on. Put that there. I'm going to zero this scale out. That's zero. It's on PSI. I'm going to put this gauge in. I'm going to put that on. We'll go back to this screen. We're going to gas it back up to 39. Okay. Now this is interesting. 235. All right. So, so there you go. All got a different reading on everything. Beep bop beep bop. They all got a different reading. So when you are trying to get a finite pressure, or you want to be able to claim that, hey, this runs at this, a lot of these small gauges could be, you know, 10 to 20 psi off, positive or negative. Depends if it's been blown out, the quality of the gauge. And so I use it as a gauge. It gets me in the ballpark. Like if we relied on our tank, you know, these guys, let me unscrew this. If we relied on these little, those guys are horribly inaccurate. I don't know what it sets. It says I'm halfway between 6 and 8. 700? I don't know. Is it really 700? Is it 660? I don't know. The whole point is you don't don't get all worked up on what the pressures that people are. Oh, my gun's running at this. Oh, my gun's running at this. Who cares? You know what? Build your gun. Build your gun or your paintball marker. Build it to run at a pressure that it likes to run at. You know, I'm trying to keep up on things. Hell, don't even trust. Trust but verify. So Jason says, trust but verify. And then he says, hell, don't even trust. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Don't trust, because it's, man, I don't know. It's hit and miss. Let's see. But that's the, you know, that's kind of one of the things that I look at is you know, it's a gauge. Literally, it's called a gauge, right? And I think they're in the name is, so just get a you know, a gauge. And yeah, Dan is, yeah, you're right on the money. And by the way, a little COD a little bit later if you're up to it. Chris Plant, what's Chris got to say here? Let's listen to this and say, I have yet to find two cockers that like the same price, even with the same. Yeah, I agree with you. And even like springs, like I did this big spring venture, right? So I have spring kits you can buy. Let's see. Did you see? Right. Oh yeah. I bought all the springs, right? And really it's just another Madman kit. They're all little different weights, but if I were to probably take springs out of the same batch, right, the same weights and stuff like that, and then compare them to other springs that they make in that same spec, I bet you they're off by like, there's probably a range that they're acceptably off at. And so when you're getting those springs, and you're putting them in an autococker that is machined either by War Games, by AIM, by Free Flow, by ShockTech, or whatever, they're all to a little different spec, and you know they were different batches, and so you're just you know it's a somewhat of shot in the dark. So you have some standards that you kind of go back to, and you say, look, I know that this spring combo generally works in almost everything, and you find those rare markers that they don't work. Or shit, you know, they're just like, man, I can't get this thing to work. I had a War Games, oh, what the hell are they called? M1. Oh, I'm trying to remember what they are. Murder Inc. The MIs, the Murder Inc. Conquer. And a guy had bought it new, and then he tore all the factory stuff off and put all this other stuff on it that wasn't bad stuff, but nothing really wanted to work well together. And like even took the back block off, put one of those, you know, plastic back blocks from Tech PB or something like that, and they're not bad. They're not durable, I don't think. And so he went and had all this stuff, but I could never get that gun. I mean, I had a stock Oracle that I pulled the guts out from that I knew that worked, and literally put it back in this gun, and I couldn't get it to work right. I mean, it just wouldn't work. Tech D, yes, thanks, Tech D. Don't trust. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, it's let me stop that. It's just interesting with that you know how that all works, and so then it kind of comes down. We talked a little bit about pressures on guns or markers. I try to get away from the words guns. I'm trying to separate that from paintball because like we're gonna get fucked one of these days. But excuse my language. I have some markers that I have just amazing. They just work amazing. I mean, there is no joke. They just work. And I'll have to tell you that the markers that I have the most trouble with teching is stuff where I get a customer that has a basket case and like this Murder Inc., right? And has swapped all the parts out. Now, the Murder Inc. had machining issues, I think, on the inside. And they fought with it. And they bought all these parts because they, you know, got them on the used market. Usually because if it's on the used market, I mean, someone bought it, can get it to work, and maybe the part was bad. That's what I find out. And that will happen, right? You know, bad parts just the bad one in the lot. But the markers that I have that just work really good, and I love them to death. Oracles and Outcast and Nightcast, one without the holes in it, the eye holes in it. I think that's the Outcast. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the Outcast. And they just work good, factory. You know, if the chrome's not peeling, which just aesthetics, just work really good. I had it figured out, and it's just a good batch of guns. I've had nothing but good luck with those. But then when all these parts kind of go into it, that they're not. Jason, I agree with you. Shock Tech, because it's especially the new stuff, and you kind of get into the older stuff that's obviously older when it was Bad Boys Toys. It was a hit and mix because of the blanks they were using. Sometimes they're war game blanks, and sometimes they weren't. Right, so you know, it could be that, and it's just variations. But I think I agree with you. I think Shock Tech, in my opinion, with all of the markers that are out there, the most refined marker today, period. And I think it's the Shock Tech. It's just a very refined marker, and it was one person's vision to say, these are my standards that I want to see in this thing. And it's really refined when it's all together. When it's not saying I put a Shock Tech 3-away on a War Games and an Inception. Okay, not that. It's just a refined marker. It just, I mean, and I hate to say it, but I'm a freaking fanboy. I am. I fanboyed out, man. I have the jersey, literally have the jersey, and I literally fanboy because it just they are so good. And I don't get me wrong, I like Inception stuff. Free flow stuff has some great designs. I'm not too hip on some of the components. No, I take that back. Some of the quality, attention to detail on things, and one gun I dislike. The Thieves. Name makes sense to me. I just don't think. I think they were a ripoff. I think what you got. I think it was a gun that you should buy, strip all the parts off, and sell the parts for separate, and try to get your money back out of it. All right, let me see. I got to get these up here real quick. So Jason puts, Chris Plant puts 100% Shock Tech is the most consistent. Yes, I agree with you. And then Mark Davis. Mark's the long one. It's probably not going to show completely, but Mark says, today I shot 780 balls out of my original cocker. Bud gave me in 1990 with 3,000 psi fill and a 68 cubic inch tank. The reg is set at 300 psi. Rat valve, fat hammer, a lightning bolt, and good paint to bore match. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, Mark, that's your go-to gun. And I know that's just the gun that you've shot forever, and it's just a really good gun. And I have those. I mean my go-to marker, like I said, it'd be, when I say go-to before Shock Tech, gotta be careful with this. I have to cover things. So this is my AKA Merlin round body. Blue acid. It's got a slider on it. It's a matched anode slider, which is nice. A 2-liter, which I like, and then it has my own 308. This has been just a bulletproof gun. If anything ever goes wrong with it, it's something in the pneumatics, because they failed. As a non-Shock Tech gun, and then I don't have my, I don't know where it is. I don't have that, but just an amazing gun. But yeah, Mark called me. We're actually going to try to, I told you guys, we're going to try to live feed with Mark being a special guest. But Mark, you need to download Chrome and just put it on your computer. You don't need to have an account for it. Jason, download Chrome if you don't use Chrome. Dan Bazzani, download Chrome if you don't use it, because apparently that's what you guys need to have like a Chrome browser. I know that Edge, Microsoft Edge will work because it's based on the Chrome browser. But anyway, so on a second note, Rich Sconey's probably out getting drunk tonight. So we've got, and I know that Jason's got some just the tips for him, but I have, this is Sconey's new XL barrel, and I'm going to go the top-down view on this, if I can, and kind of show the, and it's got fingerprints all over it, but this is this new Sconey, and you know it's a Sconey because it says it on the back. Don't get the imposters. But it's a really nice barrel. You can get this on his website. Little shout out to Master Sconey Paintball, which is a great guy. Let me do this real quick before I forget, because I need to have my name up here, right here, right. Whoop. Gotta get used to how to do this right there. Yeah, the bestest tech, the best tech. Yeah, whatever, right? And then the other thing is, where's that other tip? Oh, I don't have it. So these are the Field 1 Sconey tips. Go on a Field 1 setup for Taylor. They make it right at 15 inches. So Field 1's typically a 14-inch barrel. And so if you look at, I don't know if I can get back far enough here. Sconey's, you know what, hold on, what am I doing? Why? Let's go like that, put them all. So it's 15, 14, so it's a little bit longer. I didn't know it was a little bit longer. I kind of wish it was right at 14, but it is a 15, and I think Field 1 sells a 16-inch tip. So if you want something that's in betweener, then but I don't think it really matters. My wife says the inch doesn't matter. So, I give her 2 and let her rip, Tater Chip. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Yeah, you look like a guy that would smoke a pipe. You look like a guy that would smoke. Do I look like a guy that smokes a pipe? Yeah, I do. I think it's because I got this. I need to trim my goatee. It's getting a little thick. Yeah, I should get one of those, and then one of those Spectre Clouseau hats or something like that. It'd be kind of funny. That'd be really funny. But anyway, all right, so go back to there. The other thing is, look, I got these. I got this from Chris Persino. These are the Shock Tech Mech Life jerseys. Well, I got to get it kind of squared up here. These are really nice, and it's the attention to detail that he does. And let me come down the top down photo. Attention to detail. So this is the collar, right? And the collar, you see this background? These are letters, and I go, what is it? And I go, oh, it's Fight Life, because that's Fight Life is his brand, and then he has CK, and then on the inside of the collar, just little nuggets everywhere. Kill your demons. There's even more stuff. On the inside, it even has Fight Life that's written. On this little neck gusset, Contract Killer, CK, and then Chris did this logo. I said he put my round logo, my last logo, he put that on there, and I said take the logo off, and he goes, why? It just doesn't look good on that. It just doesn't. It's a good logo. It looks like good on a beer bottle. It looks like crap on that jersey. And he goes, I go, but if you want to redesign it, I don't care. You can put something else on it. I don't care what it looks like. He does this, and I end up calling up and I go, dude, I will pay you for your time to make that logo. I want to buy that. I want to buy the files. So I bought the files. We did some trade work and stuff like that. But got the Shock Tech there on the rest. I got Shock Tech in the center. This has got this. I don't know, it's like a textured, it's not textured, it's the pattern. And it's a fade, like it goes dark to light little texture thing. The Shock Tech logo, the Mech Life, which is a Chris thing. And then, but it's not logoed up. He's got the side, Shock Tech on the arms. And the material of these things, man, they're super nice. Yeah, hold on. Thanks, buddy. It's true. Can't jump either. But these are freaking super nice. They're great to me. I like them because I'm in California. It's hot and I sweat a lot here. They're not a cold weather jersey that I'd be wear out in the cold weather unless you're like cold weather of LA or something like that. But I would. It's got three different materials. So this front panel is a little bit more dense, not as porous. Then you have the side gussets on the side and the armpit gussets down the whole side. This is like that mesh that you can probably see my hand through. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. So it's nice breathable on the side, and then if you go on the back's the same way. So the back, because people get sweaty backs apparently, you can see it's got. Let me put this detail on the back here. Put this out here. CK Fight Life Manufacturing Company. It's got my name. If you want to get a number, you can, but it has the big ShockTech logo right here. I think these are really nice. And he has a giveaway too right now if you buy these. And then additionally, we have my giveaway, so all the people that purchase them will get a chance to win that Scony barrel. No, not that Scony barrel. It's a barrel kit. It's actually really nice. A $100 barrel kit from me. And then obviously it's got this heavier material, more kind of crumpled up so you can hear it. It's a heavier, and that's on these forearms for the forearm hits, and then finally it goes to the gauntlets. And someone asked me, he said, "Yeah, these are a little snug, but they are going to stretch out." Yeah, but anyway, I like it. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, get your jerseys. He sold a good bunch of these. I was talking to him a little while ago. He's doing pretty good on it. I'm gonna probably order some to be available at Super Game Oregon. We'll have names on it, so it'll be a blank one. It will have all that without a name on the back. I was thinking about maybe doing like a name on the back, like $20 is $20 or something like that. It'd be kind of funny. But anyway. Amazon, I'm ordering one. Yeah, watch, you're gonna win the barrel, Dan, and like the free shirt or something like that. That'd be your luck because you had that luck. But they're super nice. Dan, they're a lot like the jerseys we did in that thinness. They're like that, but they are. I say the size wise, I get a size larger than I normally wear, like in a t-shirt. And, well, almost 2 sizes larger. I'm a 2X on the tight side. My wife said I'm a 3X. I'm between a 2 and a 3X. I'm a wide body. I'm not gonna lie. And apparently, I'm gonna get a pipe. I don't smoke. I'm a smoker. But anyway. Let's see, are they Mech Life Dry Fit tees? I don't know. Hold on, let me put this up there. I don't know if they are. I don't know how to say your name. Ed. Yeah, okay, Ed. So yeah, I don't have any of their dry fit tees. I was gonna actually he has a sale on one right now. Oh, Rich ordered one. Rich says he's gonna order it and he is gonna win. He's in for the win. So, Rich, are you out with the boys tonight? Your club for men. Don't say anything. Just for show. Okay, so I don't know if they're like their dry fit tees. They're I think when I talked to Chris, I said I don't like the padded jerseys because it's a collaborative thing between CK and Docfire Paintball that we decided to do. And soft goods he's really good at doing soft goods, and his art is amazing. And I had to kind of scale him back. I didn't want it to look like another CK jersey. I wanted it to look like kind of this old retro jersey. I sent him a photo of Danny Love in in a jersey very similar to this, and I said, "Hey, that's what we should do if we're doing a Shock Tech jersey, because it's a collab between Shock Tech, Docfire, and CK, and I'm the one that's, Chris kind of reached out to me and said, hey man, let's do a jersey, and he wanted to do a Docfire jersey, and I'm like, they're not going to sell. I go, my brand is not. I'm just a store, and who wants to wear a store jersey? That's the way I look at it. And I appreciate my logo on it as like a supporter or stuff like that, but the Shock Tech name to me, has a thing. If I thought about doing a Fire Series jersey, but it's tough because I don't know how many people would buy them. Would it just only sell the amount of jerseys that we did for the paintball markers we sold? So it's kind of tough on that. I may still do a Fire Series. It'd be kind of cool to do a Fire Series, and then the number on the back's the number of your thing, of your marker that you have. Let's see what's going on. I keep on getting beeped and buzzed. What's this? It says you have a new channel. Oh, just let me know that my video's up. I didn't even check to see if my video is actually rolling. Let me go see if it's actually rolling here. Apparently it is on YouTube. I'm assuming it is. Oh yeah, there I am. I'm live right there. Yeah, I need to work on the colors. Actually, the quality is really good. I'm kind of impressed with the quality of it. But anyway, hold on. Okay, so plans to cancel. Okay, so Rich has had plans to cancel. Huh, Jason? Out till I might as well give them. Right. Yeah, I agree with you. But the cost of them is, these jerseys aren't cheap. I can't remember what they retail for. I do know this plan when we did this thing is that we got Danny Love. We did a jersey for him like he needs another jersey, but it's just kind of a nice thing to do. They allowed us to use the logo, the official logo, so it is sanctioned by Shock Tech. And then Mark Van Dern, who is Danny's partner, they're equal partners in Shock Tech, the two owners. Mark's not a paintball guy. He's a business guy, and he has another sport that he does, and he doesn't have time for, to do. I mean, I kind of harass him. I say, hey, well, we gotta go play. And he goes, I just don't have time. And he says, I got younger kids, and we've got the sports that we do, and he says, I just, what drops? And I go, I get it. I totally get it. So he has like the Shock Tech shirts, like polo style shirts that they had made, but we got him a jersey. We'll get him out there playing one of these days. But anyway, I agree with you, Jason. Soft goods are pain, and if you're good at doing soft goods, great. I still have the ST jerseys. I bought, well, it was well over $1,000 from a local t-shirt vendor. And these are the ST jerseys not jerseys, t-shirts that I did for Super Game last year to sell there. A lot of them I gave away. So I haven't even broken even on those t-shirts. And I thought I would kill it on it. No. Hats, did all right with hats. I wasn't happy. The same company did the embroidery on them. They were, I don't know, they were okay. I think that it's just tough to do that, and and sell a T-shirt for like $20. That's a tough push. Then it's tough to keep everything in stock. And so, like on my store, I do Printify, which is print on demand. So I have all the designs done. I don't carry in the stock. The customer makes the order. It goes off and gets printed and shipped at these small little print shop vendors that have the supplement printers. Like a lot of people in their house, they do it. So, but yeah. So anyway, it's that's where. Yeah, I agree with you. They're just a pain in the butt. Definitely. What should we do if we can get this thing figured out? Should we do a show, a live feed, that we feature a builder or a tech and have them on with me as the host with the mostest. The hostess with the mostest. I don't, yeah, I'm not going to wear a Vanna White costume. That's just not on the cards. And then what should we do about it? We should have, we should have two tags, not naming anyone in particular, that may not like each other that much, and have them both. That would be a disaster. It would be entertaining, but it would be disaster. And I wouldn't do it. It's not right. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. They need to figure it out. But I did say that Facebook is still a viral place for people, for the most part. Just viral. I dealt with something recently, and I was just dumbfounded with how viral and hateful people are on it. And now I'm not a saint. I've said some things in forums that I regret to this day, and I've apologized for anything that I felt that was really out of place. And I've done some things that are bad. No, I don't know. I've probably pissed some people off, and I never really want to. It's not my intention. I would rather debate with someone and agree to disagree. But Facebook doesn't really have that. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, so Chris, that would be cool. Can I do a Q&A? Yes. So Chris, right? Jason says the mech consortium. Yeah, the mech consortium. That would be funny. I got to get this lower third thing down out of the way, and then hold on. Super secret tech roundtable. We had Zoom for that, and we got called out by some certain people that we had this secret group, and then we created a secret group on Facebook that I don't think I've been to in 2 years. But yeah, yeah. Dan says, yeah, you use colored O-rings. Oh, right. I use colored O-rings. I have. When anything's been re-anodized, sometimes the tolerance has disappeared, and if something's already on the edge of being too loose, like a ram or a three-way or something like that, man, I'll use colored O-rings all day long. I mean, it comes down to a point on some of those that I'll have to make a new three-way shaft, and I laid out a new three-way shaft that's got a little thicker. I won't use the dental flossing; it's just not my thing. Although it works, and you can use clear tape to put in there too. You can slice it really thin. There's a lot of little things you can do. But since I have a lathe, and I have brass, I can just machine one new, and with a little thicker O-ring grooves, so the O-ring sticks out a little bit thicker, or whatever. Or I machine it down to fit the O-rings. But I've used petroleum jelly because it says it in the manual. To this day, every manual that War Games had said petroleum jelly, which makes me laugh. And then they said 3-in-1 oil was the other one that was the can oil, which totally cracks me up. So, hey Jason, are you a little on the sauce today? Let's see. Are you giving bedroom tips to make it bigger? You use Dow 55. I use a lot of that right before the action. Dow 55 swells. Let's see. Hold on, let me pop these things off. Okay. Any port in a storm. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Chris Forcenet. Chris makes the. Well, I'm losing the name of it right now. Chris, what do you make? It's that one marker. It's killing me for like me. Yeah, Joseph. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we're in the store, right? Chris makes it's the pneumatic fully auto kit. That's all mechanical pneumatic kit. Reflex. Thank you, Dan. Storm Chaser. Yeah. So for the folks on YouTube that are watching this, I don't know if you're seeing all the posts that are on Facebook. So I get a lot more activity on Facebook than I do on YouTube. So if you're asking, like, I'm trying to keep up with, here's there's just one after another. So a lot of them are saying some of the things that we should do. One, it was using petroleum jelly for things. Here, there. Yeah, so he makes yeah, those kids. I'm not going to pronounce that word. Why do you use big words when you're in paintball, Chris? Why do you make us all look stupid, especially me, on using big words and really, really heavy hammers? Yes, I've seen a couple of those come my way because they come my way to Charles Bird because I'm his proxy shipper. So a lot of guys have shipped stuff to Charles and you're shipping it to me, and then I load it up and ship it to Canada for him. I'm on Facebook. You're good. Oh yeah, I know that, Chris. For Facebook's fine, but the YouTube folks aren't seeing all the comments on Facebook unless I post them up here like this. Mm-hmm. Do those little go happy things. Um, let's see. I took the cocker. Let's see. He says I took the cocker that someone used. Holy cow! Yeah, well, gun oil, depending on what it is actually somewhat caustic. It's designed to help reduce the powder. It's trying to kind of keep that off, so it kind of, yeah, depending on what gun. I think it's Hoppies, which is a solvent. Yeah, you're gonna kill the O-rings. But Buna O-rings. I mean, if you go look at Buna O-rings that are quality Buna O-rings, like Macro Rubber or any of these companies, and look at Buna O-rings and look at what their properties. They have the O-ring chart and it says, hey, here's the oils that they work or don't work with. So anyway, but yeah, using gun oil. There are some gun oils that are fine. It's just like sewing machine oil works good, which isn't a gun oil, but a lot of gun oils were sewing machine oil. Okay. Yeah. I just said sewing machine. Yeah. That's not how you spell sewing, but then again, don't ask me how to spell sewing either, John. I don't know what the, I'm a horrible speller. Ask Dylan Masalis. He corrects me all the time on anything that I misspell, and it's I think it drives him nuts. So I purposely misspell a lot of things, and then I'm not a good speller. But yeah, sewing machine oil does work good. What I find is you go down to Wally World. Walmart, and they used to have these little oils for fishing reels in a little tiny tube with a little needle oiler. That always worked good. It's just all it was is just a light oil. Right? Sewing, right? Yeah, I would spell it like suing. Jason believes that Astroglide works great. I can't speak for that. I don't know. I'm not going to, let's just move on from this topic of using Astroglide. Higlar is the best. Smells. I still think we should do a video on using peanut butter oil. Like literally get like that, well, you have to get we'll get it from Rich. Rich Sconey, Rich. Hey, what's the most vegan peanut butter, natural peanut butter you can get? And you get it, any of that stuff you get, right? It's got that layer of oil on top because you got to mix it back into peanut butter because it separates. We'll just pour that out into a vial and then use that as our lubricant. Yeah. I've used yo-yo oil. So Rich uses yo-yo oil. Yeah, I can see that. But that's probably silicone based, I imagine, because it's on the string. Jason, Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's no reason why you can't use Crisco. Nothing wrong. It's actually, the funny thing is you can use Crisco because you look at Buna O-rings or any of that stuff. I think they're FDA approved. I don't know if they are not. I think there is a Buna that is, but so Buna rubber is not affected by it. Nut oil, yeah, right. I don't want to know where that's. I'm thinking nut sweat or something like that, but it's got a lot of salt in it. Not that I would know. But anyway, we should do a video on lubing with like Crisco. And you get that butter flavor. I actually have butter flavored Crisco. It makes the best chocolate chip cookies, by the way. Not that I make chocolate chip cookies all the time. I am fat, so. Whole Foods. Rich says go to Whole Foods to get our peanut oil or peanut butter. But you get creamy. You get chunky. It's going to be really interesting in a three-way. It's got to be creamy. And we should just buy, we should call up Danny Love and say, look, send us a gun, completely disassembled, with you've put no oil on anything, not even on the metal, just, and then we'll completely assemble it with butter flavored Crisco, peanut oil, and Laffy Taffy. I think that would be perfect. And you know, on a pretty hard tequila bender, and see if it works. Tea bagging. Teabagging bolts, yeah. Yeah, no, that is a process where you anneal the bolts with tea bag, and the tea has a chemical enzyme in it, and then when it gets to temperature, it changes the color of the bolt, it protects it from rusting. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's all full of shit there. Sorry for the language, folks. This is not a kid's show. But yeah, that would be kind of entertaining. And so the gun, you could be out in the field, and if you get hungry, you could just start eating, you know, pieces off of it, because it's pretty much got a Crisco and peanut butter on it. Kind of cool. We could, you know, we could get like salami, and we could be like carving salami, and then the grease that gets on your fingers, use that to, you know, grease parts. It's gonna work fine. It's gonna stink after a week. It's not like, you know, rotten meat, but I mean, that's livable. Baconized, yes. I have a. That's what I bought a flat top grill. One of the not the Blackstone. I bought a camshaft because they're better. I'm not going to get that debate, but I like my camshaft, and I cook a lot of bacon on it because I'm fat and I like bacon, and it's not healthy for you, but it tastes so freaking good. I have that little tray, and it's full of bacon grease, but it's white, you know, so I should probably clean my grill really good, cook some bacon on it again with a fresh tray, and get that tray off to the side, and then it's nice and clean, filter it a little bit, and then put that in a jar. We'll use that for the baconized bacon build. We should have an anode bacon, look like a bacon, peanut butter and bacon. That's actually a good combo for some sick reason. Chocolate back block temptation. So Rich, if you can go to your overseas source and have them build back block molds that we can pour chocolate into, that would be great. What about we make chocolate paintballs with peanut butter? Reese's. We need to get a hold of Reese's. Reese's paintballs. Oh my god. I mean, everyone looks so gay around the field with their barrel in their mouth and they're shooting. You know. Yeah, that'd be good. But anyway, so this conversation's gone really sideways, and not because of. Oh wait, hold on. Jason says I have mint flavored Neuter lube. Oh, I remember that stuff. Yeah, Mark Davis, real quick. So 300 FPS at 300 psi is optimal, and lube doesn't matter. Yes. Peanut butter. Yeah, there we go, Chris. Yeah, peanut butter bacon sandwich is the shit. I don't think I've had one. It does sound good. So I was just gonna say that someone's gonna bring up, and it's Bazzani every time, banana scented paintballs. Bananas are devil's food, Bazzani. I just need to unfriend you. It's time. Bazzani, you can bring that banana shit around here. It is time. The unfriending is going to happen because bananas are horrible, absolutely horrible. I think what happens is that goes away when I put things. But bananas are for monkeys. Come on, folks. Oh, come on, be real. Anyway, all right. Well, I think this has been long enough, and we've actually talked. Mark, we're unfriended. You're being unfriended too. I literally have two friends, and it was you guys, and so I just unfriended both of you. No, just kidding. Banners are good. Oh, you guys are gross. Bananas and any. Well, okay, real quick story, which is never quick for me. When I was really little, my mom went into this five and dime store. My sister and I were in the car in California in the sun, and I'm fine. I didn't have any traumatic problems. We were left in the car because she would go in this five and dime store, a little pharmacy that had trinkets. My mom loved that store, and I think it was her little secret hideaway. And we didn't have air conditioning in our car because we don't afford enough to. We didn't have enough money to afford air conditioning in a car, nor air conditioning in our house. So it was hot, and I was hungry, and it was a station wagon, and there's a lot of room in a station wagon. And I remember in the back seat, and I'm complaining to my sister, whose sister's older than me, so she has no tolerance for me at this time. I think I'm like 6 or 7 years old, and she's like 12. And I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry, and my sister's like, shut up, typical sibling, shut up, you're annoying me, and which I guaranteed I was. That was my goal. And she goes, and there's groceries here, but it was groceries like back in the day when I was a kid. There wasn't like you'd open the bag and there's like things you could eat, unless it was fruits and vegetables. It was stuff that needed to be prepared, it was like flour, milk, stuff like that. And there was a bunch of bananas, and they were green, because we always bought green bananas because by the time you would eat the last one, they were good for making banana bread, I guess. And so anyway, and so anyway, my sister goes, stop complaining. Mom's in there, she's shopping, and I'm hungry. And she goes, I dare you to eat a green banana. And I'm like, okay, because it's a freaking dare. And what do you do in a dare? You got to own up to it. Yeah, you dare me, it's done. So I powered down a banana, a green banana. And then she dared me to eat the whole bunch. And you know how dares go. I was thrown up all the way home out the window. It was a 1974 Ford yellow, like that powder yellow station wagon that had an exhaust leak. So I mean, you already were sick in the back anyway. And you always left that back window down just a little bit because it was a crank window. It wasn't a freaking power window. Couldn't afford that. So to crank it back up, you had to go outside and crank it back up. But the car got hot, so always that window went in. So the exhaust rolled in, and a bunch of bananas and green bananas and exhaust fumes on a curvy road home. Hence, I've never eaten bananas since. Because they're disgusting. I'm pretty traumatized from it. I think I have ADHD from that event. I'm pretty sure. But don't banana shame me, please. I don't identify as a banana, and for those you do, I could care less what you identify as. But with that, I got to get going because it's Call of Duty time. We play a little DMZ. If you play that, hit me up, Docfire, and Blizzard. So, all right, everyone, you have a great night. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll work on getting some guest hosts for the next episode. Docfire out.